I'm going to pair one of their new metal signs. They're two-sided like this. I'm going to use the Stars and Stripes side and just one of these plain signs from the Dollar Tree and make something really special for the 4th of July. Now, sometimes these aren't put together well. I find that a staple gun on the top can kind of reinforce some of the frame to make it tight against it. So you might have to work on yours as well. I do notice the new ones that they have are made a little bit better. And then I want everything to be white. I like that it has like the wood background, but I really need it to be white. And I don't really care for like the unfinished material that the frame itself is made out of. So I definitely need to paint that white. I'm just using one of their foam brushes and I'm just going on the outside and the top of all of the frames. And we're just going to paint this white. I definitely want the frame to be white, and then I want the back of the sign to kind of be like a stained white wood for the look that I'm going for. It's going to be a layered sign that's going to have all different kinds of layers to it. It's going to be really festive for the 4th of July. So once I got that painted, I did go over the top of it with just a little bit more to make sure that it is solid white. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do for the back of it. I want white on the back of it because we're going to make this look like red and white flag stripes for the 4th of July. So I just took a wet wipe and some of that white acrylic paint, and I am just rubbing it into the wood, also along the inside of the frame because I hadn't painted that part of it, to give everything like a whitewash stain. And you can still see some of that wood grain peeking through, which is just going to add a little bit more character to this piece. And I just make sure I get it in all of the corners and stuff like that. A little bit tricky to get the paint in the corners, but I just kind of use my Cricut weeder to make sure that happens. Now for the flag stripes, we're going to use Dollar Tree rulers. I love the wood rulers. I use these for DIYs all the time. I picked up 2 packages of 2, so I'm going to use a total of 4 of them. And they have stickers on them, but you can just peel them off. And then I'm going to cut them down to size where they will fit perfectly inside that Dollar Tree wood frame. I want them to be horizontal like flag stripes. And it looks like about right here is where I need to cut it. So I'm going to stack all of my rulers on top of each other, take that to my saw, and cut them all at once. Easy peasy. Now they have like a flat back, and that is what I want to be on the front. So I'm painting the flat side, and I'm just using a bright red acrylic paint. As you can see, the raw wood is super easy to paint, and it's going to give me these perfect flag stripes. This turned out really well. So I'm just doing that on all 4 of them. I'm not going to have like the blue and white stars part of the flag. I just want the red and white stripes for a background for that adorable Stars and Stripes metal sign. I also did the edges of the rulers just in case you could see them after I apply. And they have a little ridge on the back that was, there on in between the stickers. That's what I'll use to glue it on. But first I'm going to go ahead and make a new hanger. So I just use some twine, and for this one I'm just going to tie it just because my twine is kind of thin. I thought that would work a little bit better, so I'm just feeding it through the back and tying it off. I did end up securing the knots to the back of the sign after I did this to make sure that it hung flat against my wall and looks really good. Now that I have that done, we can start putting this together. So I want like a red flag stripe on the top and the bottom to make it kind of look more finished. So I hot glue a flag stripe right there, and I'm just putting hot glue on that ridge because that's what sticks up above, right? And then I went ahead and did the bottom one, and then I can use the other 2 to fill out the rest of the sign. I love these plain signs like this from the Dollar Tree. They're so fun to make your own DIY without having to cover up any glitter or anything like that for sure. So I hot glued all 4 of them down, and then I want to attach the Stars and Stripes metal sign to the top of it. I'm going to go ahead and remove the hanger because it did have like a beaded hanger on here. And then I was trying to decide if I wanted to hot glue it on. I really don't like hot gluing a metal, so I'm going to try stapling it. I had enough thick wood with the wood ruler and the wood sign that it was thick enough that I could staple it. So I actually just used my stapler to staple that on. And then I'm going to cover up that part of it with a little patriotic bow from the Dollar Tree. These are a pretty good value. They're $1.25 for two. And I'm just going to go ahead and try to replace that gold metal like bread tie it has around it. I don't like the look of that. So I went ahead and tied it off with a piece of twine. And then I decided I wanted like the red and white flag stripes part of the bow to be a little bit separate. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out, but leave the blue and white star bow connected together. That way I can kind of attach them to the sign individually, so I can have this part of the ribbon go exactly where I want it, because I don't want it to block that cute sign. I just went ahead and used my staple gun to staple that to that top ruler right about there. And then I'm just going to replace that tie with this twine just by wrapping it with the twine until it looks pretty good, and then tying that off. I want to attach that part of the bow to the top. It's going to cover like the hanger hole, the staples that we used for both of those. And just trying to get it going the right direction. It looks like the smaller part of the bow goes on the top like that. And I'm just going to attach it with hot glue, covering up all those parts that kind of put this DIY together. So we have our stars, we have our stripes. It looks perfect with that little metal sign. And it takes that small sign and makes it a larger decor piece that looks so cute for the 4th of July. This would go just about anywhere in your patriotic decor. And I absolutely love how it turned out. Stars and stripes. I love the metal signs. They're a great addition to the 4th of July items that they have at the Dollar Tree. So here's kind of a close-up view of how that turned out.